Sup people, what's up? How's everyone doing? It's your boy Sema, DJ Sever, two British nerds, finally back on YouTube and back in this beautiful green room. What's up? How's everyone doing? So I've been off YouTube the last few days due to one, I was feeling tired, drowsy, and had like a up and down flow of low and high energy, and that's because I realized we're now in January, my allergies start to come about. Yeah, I get hay fever or pre-hay fever, whatever you want to call it, just at the beginning of the year, and it doesn't stop for me until like the winter comes in. The second reason basically was I had basically issues with my MacBook Pro, which is basically what I'm going to go into right now. So I purchased my MacBook Pro in 2017 and I had loads of issues with it. Loads of issues being one particular issue, an issue of the keyboard. The keyboard became very, very sticky and stuck, and it was frustrating. I ended up taking the MacBook Pro to Apple within last year 4 times, and I always said to them basically, can I get a replacement? They were like, no. All we can do is basically repair the product for you. And I was like, oh, okay. So just a few days ago, basically I was using my MacBook Pro, and I was receiving like electric shocks, like when I was using the keyboard or when I had my hand hovering around the MacBook, I could feel a wave of static electricity coming towards me. When I touched the keyboard, basically I had static electricity coming through my fingers. I could feel it in my body and all the way down to my legs. So I was like, oh, this totally sucks, because I couldn't edit, I couldn't do anything. So moving forward, basically on Thursday, I called up Apple support, explained my situation to them, how the machine's been repaired 4 times. This will be my 5th time basically, repairing this machine. And then the person that dealt with me on Apple support, very, very cool, loved both of their energies and love towards me. They were so cool. They didn't know me. They were so cool. They were like, the first person basically said to me, you've repaired I've seen you've had 4 repairs on your machine. Like, you shouldn't be having that, especially within like a year. I'm going to do my best to basically switch the machine over and basically see what's up. And I've taken obviously your concerns regarding the electric shock and so forth. And I'll do the best as I possibly can to basically help you, as much as I can in getting the new machine, because you should not be going into the Apple store 4 times for the same issue. So I was like, okay, cool. And then the issue got worse. Emailed the same person, and basically they couldn't get back to me because they had a day off work. And then I spoke to another dude who was, he was super cool. And basically, me and him were talking, and I said to him, I've had 4 issues with this phone, with this MacBook Pro, and it's like, it's frustrating, 4 repairs. And he said to me, like, have you, why don't you just do it under, he goes, have you heard of consumer law? I was like, nah. I was like, no, not really. I'm unaware of it. And he was like, after you had your first repair, right, and you got your machine back, when you had the second issue and you took it to the Apple store, when they said to you, do you want to get this repaired? All you had to say was, under consumer law, I want to get a new machine because it's a recurring issue, and basically like it's like there's an issue with the machine, it's a recurring issue, and pow, they have to give you a new machine. I was like, really? I'm like, okay, cool. Went to the Apple store, got there in the afternoon, and I was there for about over an hour and a half to 2 hours before I finally got the machine. So got into the Apple store now, sat down, spoke to one dude, told him basically under consumer law, I wanted to basically get my MacBook Pro switched over and changed. And like, he was like, oh, well, I have to replicate the issue. And he couldn't, because there was no electrical issue at that particular time. I said to him, I had previous issues with the buttons, and he was like, I have to find the issue before I can actually replace it for you. So I was like, well, okay, cool, but under consumer law, it says after 1 repair, I'm entitled to basically a replacement machine. So he goes, okay, cool. He went to his manager, came back, said to me, I need to see your proof of purchase for me to actually swap the machines around, to swap the machines for you. And I was like, I don't have it. So for about 10-15 minutes, I was getting my phone, scrolling through, couldn't find the receipt, called up Apple support, was on the phone for like 10-15 minutes, couldn't find it. Then he left me, he came back. No, he left. And then basically, like, he was gone for about a while, because I think he said he had to speak to his manager. Came back, he goes, it's cool, it's fine. Now basically, I've got the receipt, so I'm gonna bring, I'm gonna basically sort it out for you. So what happened then basically was, he went to get the machine for me, he spoke to his manager, and it was basically, I waited and waited. He came back, he goes, the issue basically is, we can give you the machine, but because it's a new machine, we can't carry your old Apple Care from this machine to this one. So there's 3 options. 1, you pay £300 for Apple Care Plus, which is new. Secondly, you take the machine with no Apple Care and you have a year to buy the Apple Care, which is still going to cost me £300. 3, we basically, next week you call up Apple Care and they'll refund you up to £164 or the full amount. And that was pretty much the 3 options. I was like, hey man, I was like, this isn't my fault, dude. I was like, I have Apple Care. Like, why should I buy more Apple Care? Like, So, so by that time, when I was going through, when I was dealing with this for about an hour or 2, I was emailing Apple support, calling them up at least 17 times. No one answered because they're super busy. They get crazy calls all the time. But I understand that's how work goes. When you're support, you're always consistently on the phone or you're taking emails. But these guys, they super help me. Much love to them, man. And so the person called me back, and then she was like, "Oh, okay, cool." She was like, "Oh, how's it going?" I said to her, "Well, I'm a bit like frustrated and tired and hungry because I've been here since 12:20. I'm tired." He's basically told me I have to pay £300 now to get Apple Care for this new machine as it can't be carried over. And she said to me like, nah, you're not paying anything. So she was, give me 2 seconds, I'm gonna put you through to Apple Care. And the guy spoke to me, goes, oh, hello Sama, how are you? I'm cool. Explain the situation to him, he goes, cool. All I need from you is your Apple Care policy and your serial number for your new MacBook Pro, and I'll transfer your remaining Apple Care for you from your 2017 machine to a new 2018 machine, and basically you're good to go. Or he goes, if you want the new Apple Care, all I've got to do is refund the machine for you and you're good to go. I'll add the new Apple Care to basically to your machine. I was like, I refund it, and I said to him, you know what, it's cool, it's fine. I'm cool with the old Apple Care. I said to him, I'm not gonna be throwing my MacBook Pro around the place anyway, like I'm cool. He said, okay, fine. And then within 2 minutes, the guy that was with me, I said, yo, they can transfer my Apple Care over. All I need is a serial number. Took the serial number, thanked the guy, because, the guy that was helping me in the store, like, he was super cool. And, for me working in a retail perspective, it gets a bit crazy sometimes when you're dealing with a customer and you're like, you're going back and forth. Because he went back and forth, going to his manager, coming back to me, explaining the situation, giving me loads of routes to take. So, as much as you may think it was a long process and you're thinking, no, Apple is shit or whatever, how can you wait from 12:20 to whatever? These things happen. I'm not pissed at the guys basically in in the store, because I know how things work within the retail environment. I worked in retail for 18 years. They did the best to their ability to try and help me, but luckily, for me, I spoke to Apple support, the 2 people that were helping me before I went into the Apple store. So, it was already sorted out, because they said to me, go into the Apple store, Power will sort it out for you. And they did, regardless of me waiting 2 hours, it was cool, it was fine. I kept my cool, my compassion, because I know a lot of people, they switch and they get pissed off, angry, start cursing. I've been waiting here for hours, blah, blah, blah. And that's not how life goes. From my perspective, I've been in retail, so I have empathy for the people, because at a time in my life, I was that guy in the store helping me, being the consumer, and I know how it can get really, really crazy especially when you're running up and down, you think, right, this dude's here, he's not in the wrong, like, you know, why can't we just give him his Apple Care? Like, why not? Why does he have to, like, do you know what I'm trying to say? So have a lot of empathy, but at the end of the day, I have my new MacBook Pro 2018. It's a beast. It's amazing. Thank you to Apple support. You guys are flipping totally amazing. They have provided, the Apple support have given me the best like service ever. They were so cool, down to earth. They understood my needs. They understood I had 4 repairs, and they understood basically what I was going through. And of course, like, shout out to basically to Apple support for showing me about basically consumer law. I didn't know about it. Now, you know, I have, you know, you have 6 years to basically put a claim under consumer law. So if I knew about consumer law a while ago, I could have fixed my MacBook Pro a while ago. But I'm glad I done it. I heard about it now. I heard about it now, because had I have heard about it a while back and actually gone through with it, I would have got 2017 MacBook Pro, which, nah, no way. As much as I love Apple products, the 2017 MacBook Pro, no way. Had so many issues. I'm glad I've got a new MacBook Pro 2018. So this is what's happened to me the last few days. So consumer law, know your rights, number 1. 2, have empathy, and have empathy basically towards people when you are talking to them within a business environment. Keep your cool, and, you know, do what you got to do to just do your thing. So if you've watched this video to the end, I want you to comment in the comment box down below, and I basically want you to just say you watched it to the full video. And I'd love to basically know your thoughts on this whole scenario, and I hope this video has been helpful to every single person here. Click like, subscribe, smash, bash, punch, kick, adamantium, vibranium, claw that YouTube subscribe button, and I'll catch you boys and girls back to normal videos, vlogs tomorrow on the tube, being of course YouTube.